Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our literary journey. When we last left Pip, his world had just been turned upside down. He discovered that his secret benefactor, the source of his fortune and his great expectations, wasn't the eccentric Miss Havisham, but Abel Magwitch, the very convict he helped as a child on the marshes. The shock is immense. Pip is not destined for Estella. His gentlemanly status is funded by a man he finds repulsive. He is horrified and ashamed. Magwitch, who has been exiled to Australia, has risked his life by returning to England just to see the gentleman he has created. To be caught means certain death. Pip now faces a terrifying moral dilemma. He feels a deep sense of revulsion toward Magwitch, but also a growing sense of duty and responsibility. He can't just turn him in. So with the help of his loyal friend Herbert Pocket, Pip begins to plot Magwitch's escape from London. They plan to row him down the River Thames and get him onto a ship bound for another country. Meanwhile, the other threads of the story start to unravel. Pip confronts Miss Havisham, who admits she let him believe she was his benefactor simply to torment her greedy relatives. She shows a flicker of remorse for having broken his heart and for raising Estella to be so cold and cruel. In a dramatic and tragic turn, Miss Havisham's old, tattered wedding dress catches fire. Pip rushes to save her, burning himself in the process. But she is severely injured and later dies, but not before begging Pip for his forgiveness. Pip also learns the shocking truth about Estella's parentage. He discovers she is not some high-born lady, but the illegitimate daughter of Magwitch and a maidservant named Molly, who now works for Pip's lawyer, Mr. Jaggers. Jaggers arranged for Estella's adoption by Miss Havisham to save the child from a life of poverty and shame after her mother was tried for murder. This revelation connects all the characters in a web of secrets and shared history. Estella, the woman Pip has loved his entire life, is the daughter of the man he despises. The escape plan is set in motion. Pip and Herbert row Magwitch down the river, but they are ambushed. Magwitch's old enemy, Compeyson, the well-dressed, gentlemanly convict who had betrayed him years ago, appears with the authorities. A struggle ensues in the water. Compeyson drowns, but Magwitch is captured and badly injured. All of Magwitch's fortune is forfeited to the crown, so Pip's great expectations vanish in an instant. Pip, however, has changed. He no longer feels disgust for Magwitch. Instead, he sees a loyal, devoted man who risked everything for him. He visits the dying Magwitch in prison every day, reading to him and offering him comfort. Just before Magwitch dies peacefully, Pip tells him that his long-lost daughter, Estella, is alive, beautiful, and a lady. This brings Magwitch a final moment of peace. After Magwitch's death, Pip falls gravely ill with a fever and is crippled by debt. He is nursed back to health by his kind and forgiving brother-in-law, Joe Gargery. Humbled and full of remorse for how he treated Joe and Biddy, Pip returns to his childhood home, intending to ask Biddy to marry him. But he arrives to find that she and Joe have just gotten married. Pip is genuinely happy for them, and after giving them his blessing, he decides to leave England. He joins Herbert in Cairo, working diligently as a clerk, and eventually becoming a partner in the firm. 11 years pass. Pip returns to England a changed man, modest, hard-working, and content. He visits the ruins of Satis House, where he finds a widowed Estella. Her cruel husband, Bentley Drummle, has died after mistreating a horse. She too is changed, softened by a life of suffering. The novel famously has two endings. In the original, they part as friends. But in the revised, more popular ending, they walk away from the ruins hand in hand, with Pip seeing no shadow of another parting from her, a quiet, hopeful conclusion to a life of tumultuous expectations. Thank you so much for joining me for this exploration of great expectations. If you enjoyed this summary, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more literary adventures. See you next time.